Okay, YouTube Nation, welcome back to the Fantasy Football Astrology channel. We're going to be doing a deep dive. I had a question coming in from Nikhil. Nikhil, this video is dedicated to your question. You were asking about a couple of teams. You want to know the breakdown on the New England Patriots, and you want to know the Washington football team. And so, thank you for the question. I appreciate it. Those are teams I haven't done yet. I have done other teams. I've done the astrology on quite a few teams already. Pretty much a little over half the league, I believe. So, we're going to break down the New England Patriots. If you're not familiar with this channel, guys, I use astrology to help us out in fantasy football to get the edge, okay? I want to use a very simple astrological formula to begin identifying patterns before they reveal themselves. And so, guys, I'm seeing this show up everywhere. Just to give you a small example, look, Bill Belichick as an Aries, guess who Tom Brady is? A Leo. Okay, so what do you know? The most winningest head coach and quarterback in history have perfect astrological chemistry. Guys, this kind of stuff is all over the place. The really successful combinations, when you combine that with that elite athleticism, makes it such a difference, guys. So we're going to look at all of the New England offense here. This is all, I've included all the fantasy relevant players. I've laid it out, guys. I've laid it out from left side, right? Left wide receiver, Jakobi Meyers right here at wide receiver. Then you got the left tackle, Isaiah Wynn. Left guard, Mike Onwenu. You got David Andrews at center. You got Shaq Mason at right guard, and you got Trent Brown, who came in this year from the Raiders, okay? All of these offensive linemen, PFF grade, they're third highest, and PFF thinks they might be the best offensive line by year's end. So there's a ton of value increase that we're noticing just from that alone with Damien Harris, and especially also Ramondre Stevenson, okay? Cam Newton's out of town, okay? And so we know that Cam Newton was basically hawking the touchdowns of Damien Harris's and Ramondre Stevenson's. And so the running back value in New England has gone way up with Mac Jones in there. And so Mac Jones has looked really good, guys. Right here, this is what we like to see. You see this green circle? That means Josh McDaniels is a Taurus. He's a earth sign. Guess what? Mac Jones is also an earth sign. This is what we want to see. We want to see some type of confluence, right, with the relationships. This is a really strong one. So Mac Jones has looked at home, basically, with New England. He's a lot like Tom Brady. He's very surgical, and he's been very, if you don't know his work in the preseason, he's looked really good. I will say, looking at the fire signs here, you've got 3 out of the 5 linemen are fire signs. Fire signs are drawn towards Earth. So there's going to be a natural kind of pull towards Mac Jones. And so I thought Mac Jones was actually getting sacked quite a bit from the tape I was watching. But also he was holding on to the ball for a long time. So, and it's better than, you know, he's probably holding on to the ball because of his receivers. Guys, Nelson Aguilar, Jakobi Meyers, and Kendrick Bourne is their starting receivers. So this looks like one of the most lackluster receiving groups that I've seen in the NFL. And not a lot of people are talking about it, but it is what it is. Jakobi Meyers, when we're looking at the astrology, once again, these guys who have blue around them, they're water signs. Quarterback is an earth sign, okay? That is a really good, it's going to create a pole, okay? They have a magnetism. Earth and water creates a pole. So this is the strongest combination, right, is Jakobi Meyers with Mac Jones. Cam Newton also favored Jakobi Meyers, okay? So if Jakobi Meyers is playing the slot, that's probably a really good, very much more productive than we're actually giving it credit for. Jakobi Meyers is going to be, okay? So Jakobi Meyers, looking at the astrology, his value is going up, okay? Next guy in line, we're looking at Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne. Okay, Nelson Aguilar as an air sign, also mutable. They're both mutable. Earth moves towards air in astrology, okay? So Nelson Aguilar has a clear favoritism over a Leo here, okay? Because Earth moves away from fire. All right, so expect Nelson Aguilar to maybe even be the first guy up, but at least the second guy up as the value in the receiving group. And I think that's kind of what the general consensus was anyway, but that's also what astrology is saying. Another important thing we want to know, looking at Jonnu Smith as a Leo and Hunter Henry as a Sagittarius, neither of these guys are very good in astrology. If I had to choose Hunter Henry or Jonnu Smith, I mean, Jonnu Smith's the starter. You want Jonnu Smith. This is the guy you want. But Hunter Henry, I do think, has a little bit better astrology, being that they're both mutable, right? And mutable doesn't want to move towards fixed. Mutable wants to move towards a cardinal, okay? So that's what you have in the tight ends. I do think Hunter Henry has a very slight advantage there. Another fun aside, look at all the new additions, the free agent additions. Nelson Aguilar, Trent Brown, who do we got? Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne. All these guys are intellectual signs. All these guys are super good matches with Bill Belichick. So that's just, is that a big coincidence, right? We know Bill Belichick's going to be very intimately involved in the free agent acquisitions, and all of them have a really strong astrology with Bill Belichick, okay? So that is pretty much that. Final thing to consider here, we're looking at who's got the advantage. Ramondre Stevenson as a Pisces, polar opposite with Mac Jones. That's very good. Also, Josh McDaniels as a fix is going to want to move into that water Pisces, okay? And as well as there's a magnetic pole there. So there's good confluence between McDaniels and Stevenson, but also Damian Harris is no slouch here because Taurus loves to move towards Aquarius as they're both fixed and just likes to really use it up a lot. So I don't see a big advantage in the coaching, in the play calling, in the favoritism in the coaching, but I do see a pretty significant advantage. Mac Jones and Ramondre Stevenson, if he becomes, a guy out of the backfield for passing plays, Mac Jones would be looking towards Ramondre a bit more from the astrological perspective. So let me know what you guys think about this new format. I laid the team out like this so you can see everything. One of the things I want to do is I want to start highlighting a few games a week with all the astrology of the defense, all the astrology of the offense, and the verses. Like I'll do like a Tampa Bay versus Tampa Bay's offense versus Dallas defense or something like that. And this way we can begin identifying more patterns emerging within football. And so I've started seeing some defensive stuff. We want to pay attention, for example, to the defensive backs. Do they have the same astrologies, same elements, right, as the quarterback? And so I keep astrology really simple, guys, not that hard to figure out. There's only 4 elements. You got fire, water, air, and earth, and they're all color-coded on my board here. And so, there's 3 types. There's fixed, mutable, cardinal. You hear me talk about those. Those are what is creating the directions. Okay, so really simple. The simpler we keep it, the easier it is to see and identify the patterns. I hope you guys dig it. Please like it. If you can, my channel's starting to blow up a little bit. I'm trying to get it out there, share the knowledge, and let's have a great fantasy season, guys. Cheers.